don't want to be looking away every 5 seconds.
We live, ma'am.
Oh, hey.
Hey, y'all.
How y'all doing?
Let me play this intro real quick.
See, I don't even see your intro.
It'll come up. What's up, people? Welcome to the KFLO show, where the goal is to inspire, encourage, and empower you to live life better with information for transformation and elevation. Hashtag elevation information. We will discuss faith, fashion, fun, finances, and much, much more. And hey, don't just watch, like, and subscribe at IamKFLO.k. And remember, sharing is caring. Enjoy the show. Yeah, it's tripping. It's tripping as usual. That's just how it be.
Okay.
Here we are.
I shared it.
All right. Daria, what's up, people? Welcome to the KFLO show. Let me go over and hit the Instagram.
Hey, IG.
See if it's going to show up with some blood. Oh, no, that's good.
That's IG.
Hey, y'all, IG.
Okay.
All right. Listen, I am so excited. Okay, let me get the church announcements out the way. All right, welcome to the KFLO show. I am here to inspire, encourage, and empower you all to live life better. Please show your love with your likes, tags, and shares and comments. You can follow me on everything at IamKFLO.k. Let's get it popping. No stopping till we get to the top. My guest tonight is Alicia Michelle. She is a mother, a glam mother.
That's it.
Okay, a friend, a sister, fashionista, boss chick, classy, world traveler, honey, the list goes on and on. Thank you so much for joining me today, my sister.
I thank you. We've been talking about this a long time, so it's good to see it come to fruition.
Okay, I am so ready. We're about to get into it. Listen, we're going in tonight.
Let's go.
We're going in.
Let's go deep.
We're going to go deep.
I wore my high tops. Let's do it.
Okay, she got on her Jordans, y'all. She clean, fresh as usual. All right, so let's talk about the subject tonight is double standards. Okay. First, I want to tell the people how we met. So we met at DC3.
Yes. Well, it was. What was it before?
Was it JC3?
It was JC3.
Oh,
yes,
JC3.
Yes.
Okay, so we met at JC3.
We've been rocking a while.
We've been rocking a long time. I think our immediate connection was probably our style.
Yeah.
We both, into style and fashion and stuff like that. And then it was a spiritual side. I don't know. We just clicked.
Yeah, it was just sisters. It was a blessing. It was And in that phase of my life, I needed it. I needed a friend.
Okay.
I needed a friend.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't know I was really going through it when I was at JC3.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. All right, well, cool. So I'm glad we met. I'm glad we're here today. I'm glad that we are like sisters, honey. We keep it classy. We keep it cute all times. Ain't no ratchet, ain't no hood stuff over here, honey. This is our class, okay? Just FYI, so y'all know. And y'all, if I have internet issues, so if it goes out or it drops or whatever, I promise it'll come back. Don't fret, we'll be right back. But it's the internet. That's just how it works. It happens. So we're gonna keep it rolling. Okay, so our first topic is let's talk about dating and being equally yoked. So 2 Corinthians, did I write it down? I don't even think I wrote it down. I should have. Oh, I can't pull it up on my phone.
Get a Bible, read.
Okay, read like they say in the
church. Okay, got it, read.
Right. But it talks about being equally yoked. Like you can't mix the darkness with the light. You must be on the same page. You got the scripture. If you got the scripture, we can read it. It's 2 Corinthians 6:14.
Okay. Mother over here, these eyes ain't the same.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
Wait a minute, hold on. Okay, 2 Corinthians.
Let me see who's on. 6:14.
6:14. Okay, ready.
Read.
All right. Don't team up with those who are unbelievers. How can righteousness be a partner with wickedness? How can light live with darkness.
That's it. So people, here's the thing that troubles me sometimes, and I know now I profess to be as a Christian, right? Which means I'm only gonna date a Christian. There's sometimes people out here and they don't subscribe to a particular religion or lifestyle, so they commingle and mix, with everybody. Not saying that it won't work, but it wouldn't work for me. Like I gotta have somebody that has the same foundation. We got the same direction. We don't have to have the exact same vision, but we got to be heading, kind of in the same place. You agree?
I agree. Okay. I agree. And I'll tell you why I agree. In my previous marriage, I mean, this is my first time really talking publicly about it. Yes, I'm divorced, been divorced since last September. Okay. So everybody that's been looking and ain't seen no pictures, that's it. But I remember, though equally yoked, meaning we're kindred spirits. We're moving in the same direction. Well, my ex-husband, he believes in Christ, grew up Kojic, all of that. And in my mind, the way I rationalized things was, okay, so I'm the light, and God put me in His life to put light into the darkness, which could have very well been it.
Right.
But because we were not equally yoked, actually same spiritual, the same foundation, headed in the same direction, we would always bump heads. He was more on the religious side of the rituals, and I was more on the relational side.
Right.
So that's where we would butt heads. You worried about a skirt and if you pop your fingers at church, and I'm worried about, did you talk to the Lord this morning?
Right.
So that's where we were off. And that's the way I interpret equally yoked. Are we looking at God and viewing Him, and we're headed down the same path? I may walk a little slower sometimes. He may walk a little slower, but we still headed on the same path. So yeah, equally yoked is
that's it. What equally yoked. Okay, so you got married. The first time you got married, you were 25.
25.
Okay, so how long did that marriage last?
1 year. Actually 1 year.
Oh wow.
But I will. I'm very well. I had actually. Well, we separated, and I stayed married to him like 2-3 years afterwards, and I finally got a divorce. But that was my high school. It was my youngest son's father. Okay. And I thought that I wanted to give my sons, both of them, something that I didn't have, which was a mom and a dad in the home.
Gotcha.
But we wasn't equally yoked.
Okay.
We were not equally yoked. He believed in Christ.
Did you know what it was?
I did not know at the time.
See, that makes a difference.
I thought love would be enough.
Oh, girl, bless your heart.
Yeah, I thought love was gonna be enough. I thought love was gonna carry us.
I got it. I got you. Okay, and so you said a year, and so on your second husband, first of all, how long did you and Fred date?
A year. About a year. About a year.
Name, but anyway,
about a year. We dated a year.
Okay, and then y'all got married. Okay, so I remember you telling me something to the fact that you kind of had felt some signs that maybe you shouldn't marry him, or maybe you had doubts or got cold feet a little bit.
No, it wasn't cold feet. It was point blank. I prayed, and God gave me signs, answered me, sent people, and I didn't heed it.
Oh.
I didn't heed it.
You was not obedient to the Lord?
Absolutely not. I kept saying, well, Lord, you sure? You sure? Okay, now tell me again. Show me again. And me and God, we got this special relationship. I think He just kind of laughed at me because I mess up.
Right.
If you leave me alone, I'm going to do something stupid. And I can just hear Him saying, I done told her 4 times, go ahead, do it if you want to.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I actually had somebody at the Potter's house to prophesy to me, walked up to me and point blank told me, that's not it. God told me to tell you, not knowing anything that was going on, none of that. Point blank came up to me, whispered in my ear. And I remember my husband at the time said, what'd she say to you? Sound like she being negative. I said, well, nothing, whatever,
Wow.
Yeah. So.
And you still
did it. I'm 40 something at this point. Me and you talk, so we're gonna be real transparent.
Yeah, so
I'm 40 something.
I know the answer to these questions, but I want y'all to know, because we're about to have a real, transparent, authentic conversation, because I want people to understand that you have to pay a price when you don't listen to the Lord.
Keon Henderson said, God will protect us from the consequences of sin, but you got to deal with the wages of sin. He said that last night. And I was like, I about got up and ran off. I was like, wow, okay, I get that. I get that so deeply. I get that so deeply. But let me tell you, I was in my 40s, 40, because I think I had just turned 45.
Mm-hmm.
And I was wanting to walk. I was really chasing after God.
Mm-hmm.
And there were certain rooms where it almost seemed like you had to be married. Like everybody wants you to be married to be this powerful woman in Christ. And because, he believed in Christ, he grew up Kojic. I thought I had some workable here. I thought we could work this out.
Right.
And getting married did put me in some of the rooms. But as soon as I wasn't married, they put me right out.
Oh wow!
So wait
a minute. What type of rooms?
just being in different environments with people that were married, and it just seems like people took me more. Even my family took me more seriously when I was married, not knowing that I was secretly going through what I was going through. So yeah, basically, so people of God, women of God, don't let nobody tell you you are not enough by yourself. I wish that I had just stayed single and really took that opportunity, that time, that walking that I was trying to do, and just walked along with God and let him continue to mold me and make me, because it seemed like I took steps backwards.
But you learn from it. So from that experience, you can now teach somebody else.
Oh, most definitely.
Like
most
really teach somebody, like, yo, heed the word of the Lord, especially when you have a real relationship with God and you know his voice. Let me tell you, somebody told me that the success of anything is in obedience. It's not whatever your goal is, whatever your dream is, whatever you're out here trying to strive for. The success is not in reaching the pinnacle of whatever you think success is. The success is being obedient to God. When you're obedient to God, you're already successful.
That's true. That's 100% true.
I just learned that within the last 30 days. So, and I'm 40 something plus.
I just want to reiterate to any woman that's watching, you are enough. Marriage does not complete you. Oh, and this is another thing. In I'm downloading stuff as we're talking.
Mm-hmm.
What I was looking for or wanting from a marriage, because I had wanted to be married, wanted to be married, wanted to be married, wanted to be married.
Right.
But the thing that I was and am still looking for, only God can fill it for me.
Right.
It's not in a man.
It's not.
It's with him.
The man is an addition to your. No, it's not you come together and you fit in 50-50. Mm-hmm. You come together, you come as a whole person. He got to come together as a whole person. So that's 100 and 100, or 1,000, however you want to add it up. But you're supposed to be two whole people coming together. A healed person cannot fix a broken person.
Exactly.
That ain't how it works. Okay, so what would you tell somebody that's really seriously looking at marriage right now? Would you advise them to go to counseling?
Most definitely. Okay. And take counseling serious. We went to counseling, and he took it serious, and so did I. But I think with anything, you got to have maintenance. You go to the doctor once a year.
Okay.
You got to go to the doctor once a year. You need to go to the gynecologist once a year. You need to go to the eye doctor.
You need to get them grilled every 6 months.
Every
I'm gonna say that again. Can we go to the dentist every 6 months?
Come on now.
Okay, go
somebody.
Ahead.
But just like I think that, and I know, I'm not gonna say I know, I don't think I know, that it just takes maintenance. Your marriage requires maintenance, and you don't always just want to go to therapy when there's a problem. You want to go to prevent the problems. You see what I'm saying? So
she just spoke a word, y'all.
So it's just like any maintenance. I think, and I know that if God blessed me to ever get married again, that will be something we'll have to do. Is maintenance, and it's a baby. You cultivate it. You care for it, nurture it. You have to do all of that to keep a marriage healthy, and it takes two people. Even in a literal fight, it takes two or more. It's not a fight. You shadow boxing,
right?
You shadow boxing. Right. So it takes two people to fight for a marriage.
And it take two people to love, baby. Yeah, and love is an action word. It's a verb. It means you got to do something. It is a choice. You have to make a choice that you're going to love this other person.
Even when you don't like them.
Right.
Because there's plenty of days you ain't gonna like each other. It ain't roses and all of that all the time.
And so you would get married a third time.
Almost definitely.
Wow, I ain't even been married once. So here's my thing, and this is why I'm still single. And I still say, I mean, the longer I'm single, the easier it gets for me to be single. Because there was a time when I thought wholeheartedly that I want to be married 1,000%. But the older I get, like I'm getting more comfortable being single. And I never thought I would feel that way. But it's just like it's so much crap in the pool.
True. But that I believe that may be a beautiful place to be right now, because to me that says either one, that's where you're supposed to be, or two, you're at a place where God can really set somebody in your life now. Because now you don't have that longing.
I don't.
You know what I'm saying?
Because I did for a long time. I had a longing, like, where's my Boaz? Like, where is he, Lord? And I just made a post the other day, as a funny, I don't think people got the joke. But it was a Rhonda. Okay, Lord, this is what I like, in case you forgot. Now I know the Lord ain't forgot, but the Lord doesn't see people the way we see people. Right? He looks at the heart. He's not looking at the physical. I'm looking at the physical. And some, I need him to look a specific way. So let's go right into this topic of double standards.
but okay, I got a question for you though. What if who God has you is not what you have in mind?
God knows the desire of my heart.
But your desire may not align to his will.
The scriptures say the Lord will give you the desires of your heart
if it aligns with his will.
My heart desires to have a man that I'm attracted to.
Oh, okay, most definitely. I don't think God gonna give us a booger wolf or a wolf.
That's what I'm saying. Now, my type of man I might be attracted to something that you're not attracted to, and vice versa. Everybody attracts different things. Like some people say they got to have a man that's 6 foot, 6-pack and all this stuff. I don't care how tall or short he is, but I do care about what his body look like.
Okay.
He don't have to have a 6-pack.
Okay.
But I don't want him to look pregnant either. But that's just me. It's
unworkable. Y'all might need to just take a run.
It is work. We might not do who?
Take a run.
Say it again. Okay, here's another thing I want to say. I'm glad you said that. Sometimes as women, y'all, not me, think that you can change a man's physical appearance. Now listen to what I said. Physical appearance, like she just said. I said I don't want a man that looks pregnant, but she says y'all can go run that out. But what if he don't want to?
That's what I was going to piggyback and say. But it has to be a desire of that person. Exactly. Because what I've learned in these 51 years that I've lived is that you can't change nobody.
You can't.
You can't want more for somebody than they want for themselves. And even though you're pushing and you're wanting this and but what it will do is start to pull on you.
Right.
When you're trying to change somebody else, you will find yourself changing. I know that for sure.
It stresses me out. Okay, so let me get into what I want to talk about. So some people say that I've heard a few people say, well, Kim, you're going to miss out on a good man because of his appearance. Well, what I say to that is that no, he going to miss out on me because of his appearance. Because there's something very specific that I am attracted to, and I have always been attracted to it, and it's not going to change. And that one thing is I love a man that can dress, because I am a fashion stylist. I'm a person who's very into style, very into fashion. So I'm attracted to a man that can dress. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
But again, Kim, would he be, if the man can't dress, would he be open and say, babe, I see you got some fashion about yourself. Can you dress your boy?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I can take that.
Yes.
Because I can work with that too.
I can work with that. But if I take the conversation to him and he says to me, oh, that's not my thing. I ain't really, I don't really care about that. Or if I bring it up and he'd be like, oh, there you go with that. That's a no for me. That's a red flag for me. That means I can't work with you.
Well, it's skating the skating right along the road of saying I'm not paying attention to your needs and wants or your
Exactly.
desires.
Exactly.
Because I do think in a relationship you can bend and move.
You can
But I've been
bend.
in a similar
You
situation.
can bend.
You know, I pride myself in being quite fashionable and quite classy, and you know, was kind of taken back when I was kind of told I'm too this way, and I was like, what?
Girl, that was just jealousy.
But I'm taking this to my grave. This is how my aunties, my aunts, everybody dressed. Like I got the whole little blazer thing or the whole little from my aunts, and they was really classy women. So I've always kind of fashioned myself after that. So
yeah, I don't think
I'm gonna stick with this one.
There's not even any.
I've never dressed trashy. Fashion. Never. I mean, even when I had the little old body, I still didn't. My
right, yeah,
I've
always been very classy. Like
yeah,
I've always been very covered
it's
up.
The way I rock.
That's the way I was raised. I've always been very covered up. But here's the thing, and talking about double standards, I think it's really double standard that men, they say that men are visual and women are mental. Mm-hmm. True statement, but we are also very physical. Very. You can't leave that part out, and I don't like it when people say, well, you know what, men are looking at your body. Okay, well, if they're looking at our bodies, are we not supposed to look at their bodies? Here's my point. If a man is not, I don't think a man would be attracted to me if all he saw me in was baggy sweats and sneakers. You know, I never put any effort in my hair or my facial or anything. I just was, wherever I was always sloppy and baggy. Okay, well, it's the same thing for me. If every time I see you and you're sloppy and baggy and you put no effort in your appearance, that's not attractive. True statement.
It's a true statement. It's
true statement. And I understand that it's workable. I get that it's workable.
But he has to be
has to be open, and he has to show that he cares also about his appearance.
Right.
Because I mean, it's just what it is. But I think it's a very double standard that they can look at our bodies and they want us to have the booty, you know, and the brains. You know what I'm saying? They want us to be snatched. They want us to be snatched, but then they can look like anything because men tend to think that, well, if I take care of her, you know, if I provide, you know, all her financial needs, or, you know, she feels like a queen or whatever, then I can look like whatever as long as I spend my money and take care of her. No, sir, I don't subscribe to that. I'm sorry. Do you subscribe to that?
No, it has to be workable because at my age, and when I meet people my age, some of them still, you know, they leaning toward, you know, old man, you know, type of thing. And I'm like, no, I don't wear nothing elastic. Yeah, I'm wear my, you know, I'm still on this side. Right. So it would have to definitely be somebody who could map me there. And I will say my ex-husband was very open to allowing me to dress him. And I love that about him. He would allow me to pick out suits, and he trusted me because he thought I was pretty fashionable. Exactly. So that we did share that in common. He, you know, yeah, we shared that in common. So that was good.
Yeah. So in other words, bottom line, my man got to match my fly, and if he don't, he got to be willing to let me help him match my fly.
It could be fun. It could be fun.
I love dressing men, you know, as a style. Like, that's just what I love to do. And I'm actually about to write a book on it. About to write a book.
Okay.
Yeah, because I just, it's some information that I have that I need to put out there. Right.
So when you meet a man who, and it's just a conversation, people. Conversation. So when you meet a man and he doesn't meet your fly, are you immediately turned off?
I'm immediately turned off. But if he has the swag enough, or he's, you know, if he approaches me, because these days it's really hard. I don't even get approached because, you know, they say you're intimidating. You know, I think that's bull crap. But I feel like if he's fly enough to step to me and to actually ask me out and spend time with me, then I'm going. You want to take me on a date?
Okay.
Absolutely, I'm going.
Okay. So you could get past that.
I'm going to get through it as long as I can.
Okay.
But then I'm going to have to bring
just make sure you don't miss out.
I'm not going to miss out because I think it's very rare that I get asked out anyway.
Okay.
So if somebody does ask me out, I'm absolutely going. Okay. Absolutely. Because I got to see where his heart is. I got to see what his conversation is.
Because you could be softened in that
Exactly. Area. Exactly. So I'm open to it, but, you know, just know I got a reputation to uphold. And I also want someone with vision. How do you feel about a man who has vision as opposed to a man that does not have any vision? Like, how do you deal
Again,
with that?
I've had experience with that, and at this phase in life, they have to have some vision.
Yeah.
I'm too late in the game to somebody not to at least know what it is they want to do or the things that they want to have. Like I don't like complacency.
Me either.
I don't like complacency.
Yeah.
I used to be.
Now that's a turnoff.
I used to be accused of always wanting more. Well, yeah, that's me. Yeah,
I mean, we living and breathing. Why wouldn't we want more?
I always want to do more. I'm very happy with where I am in life now, but there are things in the back of my mind that I'm wanting to do and positioning myself to do. But I don't like complacency. Yeah. I don't like just having enough. Right. I don't like that because I'm a little flashy. I like to go. I like to do. I like to travel. I gave my younger years to my kids, and in this third, I'm in this third quarter of life. I'm trying to make every day, every minute count.
Absolutely.
So we gotta be.
Yeah, we got to be on it. And that's the same thing with me. You know, I've talked to some guys, and because I'm trying to get past the looks. I'm trying to get to who you really are. And so somebody who has a vision of what they're wanting to do is very, very attractive. If someone tells me, well, I'm just a regular guy, I'm just, trying to, get to my retirement and, and settle down and just enjoy the rest of my life. No, sir. Like, I can't, like, do you want to travel? Well, no, I don't really have no desire.
Yep, I've been there, and the sad part about that was, I used to be told, you always doing something, you always in school, you always taking classes, and I was like, yeah. I had vowed to myself once, my youngest son, who finished his master's degree a couple of years ago, I was like, when he finishes college and finishes his master's, I'm going full fledged. Yeah, I'm going straight toward the nurse practitioner. So yeah, I'm not stopping. I'm doing what I do, and that was one of the things that I think was part of the demise of my marriage too. I was so goal driven, and then I think that intimidated him a little bit. So. And I used to try not to make it intimidate him, but yet hold on to what I was trying to do. And it was so taxing for me. Yeah. So taxing for me.
Yeah, because you're trying to do what you do without hurting, somebody's feelings, or it's just that's
still holding his space in the house, still trying to make sure he felt, like he was the man of the house. But then I can give you that space, but you got to command the space. Right. You got to do what it takes to be in that space.
Baby, you got to command the space.
I can give it to you, but you got to command it. Right. You got to walk in it. Like, if I'm putting you on a pedestal and you're the man of the house, and I'm kind of old fashioned. I still believe in like roles, kind of, like the woman is more this, and I know some of y'all may not subscribe to that, but I still believe that. Like, I like a man that's gonna take care of my car. Right. I can do it. True enough, I know how to go pay somebody. I know how to change a tire, and I do all that, but I don't want to. I don't want to do that. Right. If I'm married, I don't want to. And I remember when we first got married, one day we were talking about one of my tires or something blew out. And I was kind of going on and on. By this time, I'm irritated. And he looks at me and says, well, what you do before you married me? I was like, whatever I did back then, I shouldn't have had to do it. I shouldn't have to do it now, man.
You here now.
You married? I'm married. What did you do before I got married? I'm still cooking your dinner every night.
Wow. Right. Yeah. Okay, so that leads me to a point of, so I do everything. I've been single for a long time. I know how to do everything that I need to do, but it's just like I don't want to. I don't want to do everything. Because I'm very independent. I did not grow up with a father. I did not grow up with a man in the house. So there's a lot of stuff that I know how to do because I had no choice but to do it. But I would hate for a man to be intimidated, because like I had a man was intimidated one time because I went and washed my own car. Well, that's what I've been doing for years. I kind of enjoy it because I value everything that is mine. I value everything that I've done. My car, my house, my job, whatever, everything that I have, I value it. Exactly. So I take care of it. I don't sit around and wait for somebody because I can get things done myself. Right. That's why I work. I don't need nobody paying my rent. I don't need you to get my hair done. I don't need you to get my nails done. I don't need you to do anything and however, if you want to, but brother, I want you to have at it. I want you to, because I want somebody to take my car to the shop. I don't want to take my car to the shop. I don't want to get my tires rotated. You know what I'm saying? So I do want a man, and I know that I would enjoy the presence of a man who did that, because my first and last real boyfriend did everything. He took care of groceries. We never had to wash the car. He took care of me and my mama. We never wanted for anything. He was a provider. He was not a Christian. And so, the demise of our relationship, well, he was actually killed. But I had ended the relationship way before that because I couldn't get him on that Christian. And again, like you said, I tried. We were not equally yoked, but I tried so hard because he was such a good guy. But just being a good man is
a lot of non-believers are good people.
Yeah, they're good people, but when it comes to that spiritual side, you got to have somebody that you can connect with on a deeper level.
Well, I definitely want to know that if something, because I'm such a believer in prayer, and I know what prayer will do, and I know what God has done for me, and I know what he's still doing for me, and I know that he's going to do more. If something happens to me and I'm in a place where I can't pray for me, I want to know that somebody will pray for me.
Exactly.
Somebody gonna cover me, because I don't want you putting all your trust in the doctors.
Right.
That doctor might be having a bad day.
Right.
I'm gonna need them angels to come in and touch them hands, and anoint that saline that's running, and
exactly.
that I'm gonna need the doctor to touch. I need the Holy Ghost to come in.
Yeah.
I need somebody to usher him on in.
I had that exact conversation with a guy, really nice guy, intelligent, on his grind, dressed nice, got the beautiful teeth. I mean, he was the entire package on the outside, and as far as him being a real man. And when I was asking, he was like, "So you just not gonna date me because I'm not a Christian?" Yes. He was like, "That's the only thing you don't like about me?" I told him, "Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about you, is that you're not a believer."
Because do you think you could have been?
Nope. Let me tell you, because he asked me, because I told him, I said, if I get in a car accident, like you just said, something happens to me, I need to know that my man is gonna cover me in prayer. I said, you're not gonna be able to do that because you're not a believer. So say what now?
I was gonna say, do you think that being around you and being in your presence could have brought him, or could you have demonstrated Christ? Because he said, go out into the nations and make disciples of all people. Could you have been put in his life to be that disciple?
I tried.
Okay.
I invited him to church several times. He never came. Okay. And he told me flat out, I don't do church. I'm not going.
Okay. So he was just a flat out unbeliever. He didn't believe in God.
He's like, I'm not doing it. And I was like, well, we can be friends. You're a great guy. And to this day, we're still good friends, but I can't date you.
Okay. I get that.
I mean, that's just my standard. That's like just first out the gate. I don't care if you have I don't care how much money you got. I don't care how much swag you got. I don't care how many businesses you got. If you're not a believer, we are unequally yoked.
Yeah. Yeah. You got a point. I mean, you got a point. You got a point.
I mean, it's just not going to work. Again, now, if he's willing to, I have no issue with bringing somebody to Christ.
Right.
But I can't walk that. I can't do that for you. I can introduce you to Jesus, but I can't make you have your own relationship.
Yeah. Well, that's how my friend is now. The guy that I'm seeing now, he went to church with me a couple of times, and he mentions it more and more. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he's seeing Christ through me. Maybe that's I'm showing him what Christ really is. He's not a believer. He believes, but he don't subscribe to the religion of it. That's his problem. He's and sometimes he'll say stuff, and I'll be like, that don't align with Christianity. That's the rituals. Where you get that from?
Right.
Like we were talking about the way people go to church now. Because I may put on some jeans and a blazer and go, you don't dress up no more. I was like, boy, no, we go to church. I'm trying to go. Yes, I look presentable, but I'm not wearing a whole pantyhose slip type of thing.
Hear me?
I don't do that. No.
Ain't nobody doing that. I mean, people still do it, but I don't subscribe.
I'm not finna do that because I know.
Hey, Shantila. Hey, Dr. Hunter Andrews. What's up, Jay? Just hollering at some people that's online. Carla Blue. Hey, Miss Carla Blue. She said right. I don't know if she said right too, girl, but yeah, right.
You know what I'm saying?
She's in
I go
agreement.
I go presentable, and I dress up some Sundays, but some Sundays when I know it that it's an attack of the enemy, it take everything to make me just get up and go. So let me just get these jeans, put on a nice little blouse and a blazer, and go on and get to
Right.
this church house and get what God got for me.
Exactly, because it's not in the clothes.
Mm-mm.
It's really
It's
not.
really not.
God is concerned with our hearts,
Exactly.
and
It's a
that's
heart
it.
matter.
It's a hard thing. And I heard somebody say that going to church, streaming online is supposed to be an option. It's not supposed to be.
They don't take the place of
right. It doesn't take the place of actually
Mm-mm.
going. It's just supposed to be. Honey, if you can't get there, then you have the option of streaming. That's what it's for.
That's what I
Because
say.
baby, because when we went through COVID, it took a whole lot of people a long time to come back to church because we were so used to streaming.
But I was so confused though. I was so confused about that whole issue because if you go out to eat and you're okay with going out to eat,
Speak on
why are you afraid to go to church? I'm gonna tell you, because as soon as the one community opened up, I was there in person with my mask on. I was like, you know what, God, I'm just gonna have to believe He gonna cut. I'm gonna go and get this little shot, and I'm just gonna trust God.
It took me a while. It took me a while.
I went on, baby. As soon as the one opened up, I said, okay. I was, and that's how I started going there. I was listening to him on the internet, and then they got to talk about they were going to open up. He was going to take a chance, but if you didn't feel it, and what I will say about the one, they had taken really good precautions. Like they skipped 2 rows between people. They had you really social distance, and then after the services, they went through and they had like a whole cleaning company that came in and disinfected.
Right.
So it was. I felt safe. And I ended up catching COVID from my son, who's a barber. I didn't get it.
Y'all check out this shirt. Speaking of equally yoked, my shirt says, "I don't choose to be single. I choose not to settle." Facts. I want to share this story. So speaking about, liking what you like and all that type of stuff. So there was an instance where I had a friend. We're really good friends right now, but he likes a super girly girl, which is not what I am. I have my days. And also he likes a woman who has long hair. Right. And you know me, I'll cut it in a minute. At the time it was really short. And so we had decided that we were going to try to date, because, he's attractive. He's actually the whole package. Like literally this guy is the whole package. And he said to me, he was like, well, would you grow your hair out for me? And I said, not right now. Because I was going through a short phase, whatever. I was enjoying my hair how it was. And at the time, I wasn't wearing a whole lot of dresses. I just started wearing a bunch of dresses. He was like, well, what about dresses and heels? He was like, I really don't see you often in a whole bunch of dresses and heels. And he was like, well, would you do that for me? It's like,
I can do that.
I can do that. But he was like, but what about the hair? I was like, I'm really not feeling growing my hair out right now. And so for him, that was kind of like a deal breaker. It was. And guess who was okay with it? I was really okay with it because he liked what he liked.
Right.
And he's attracted to what he's attracted to. I couldn't have no hard feelings because you want a chick with long hair.
I get it.
You know what I'm saying?
You have to accept people where they are.
Exactly.
And you have to listen to people.
Right. And if that's not your thing, baby, if somebody tell you, believe them.
Exactly. I say that too.
It was like it would not have worked for him to try to date me because he got to look at me all the time, knowing that she got really short hair and I ain't really attracted to short hair, and I could understand that it was kind of a turnout for him. Because I've had other men say to me, well, you probably not in a relationship because your hair is too short. Now, that's bull crap. But a lot of men, people like what they like. It's just like if somebody who's in the fitness world, 9 times out of 10, they're gonna want somebody in the fitness. So people like what they like. And listen, I had no hard feelings. We are still great friends today. And when I did buy a dress and I grew my hair out, I sent him a picture. He was
look like, what you missed.
Right, look what you missed out on. But it's all good. I love him to death. We're still really good friends.
That's a sticky place to be because I've been there. Somebody liking what they like, and you try to conform to what it is they like.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to come to grips that, okay, I don't have the biggest butt. I don't.
Okay,
God didn't
that
bless me
part.
there. He didn't
That
bless me
part.
there. I don't, that's just not that's just not who I am. And that was a time when I thought, oh, should I go get an augmentation or whatever?
I thought about
And
that too.
I just, I was listening to somebody the other day and I came to the conclusion, oh, you ain't finna do that.
Right.
Whoever is for you is gonna like you just as you are.
Right.
This is who I am. This is who I present to be. I'm a beautiful person. I ain't ugly.
Right.
I bring a lot to the table, and if that's the only thing, then I guess that's the only thing.
It's okay. Funny that you say that because I thought about that too. As I've gotten older, my body done changed, and I don't quite have the donkey that I used to have back in the day. Shantila say fats. Right. And so I actually considered, I was like, well, should I go get a Brazilian butt lift or what all that stuff?
I was going through the financing and all of it.
Really?
Yes. And I have had one augmentation. I had my arms done, but that's just because I lost a lot of weight and my arms was, and so I had that one augmentation. But I said, that's enough. That's enough. That was enough. I'm not gonna do nothing else to myself because I think my beauty from within should be more than just the physicality of it.
I agree.
You see what I'm saying? I know that God has blessed me to be a good person. I care about people. And if you can't see through to the inside of me, then that's just what that is.
Facts. I totally agree because that goes back to the conversation of you have to, if you don't like it, go ahead on and pass it up. I feel like I bring a lot to the table. And if me not having a donkey or not having long hair or not something physical that you don't like, then I'm just not for you.
I get that.
I am just not for you.
It's the same thing for us. If it's something that I don't like, then you just have to be comfortable enough to say it's not for me.
Right.
I'm just at a different place mentally. It is what it is now. I'm like, hey, I'm a live life. But I really that bothered me for a minute because it just always seemed like men look at that and that's what they're they see, and I be feeling like that's why this person don't like me. Or
that's why I always think, and I still think to this day that I get passed up a lot because of my body type because I'm really small, and I don't have the big boobs. I don't have a, big butt. I'm a small person. So I think a lot of times still today that I get passed over. And then too, I don't look my age. But what's crazy is that I always attract a lot older men. And I'm like, but I don't look, are they all pervs? Is that what it is?
I be thinking. Yeah, because then when I tell people I'm 51, they be like, what? Yeah, I'm 51.
Right. Yeah. So I'm like, what? Because to look at me, I know I don't look 50. So why am I attracting
them 60,
70-year-old? Like, I don't understand that. Do anybody on here have the answers to that?
I can't do nothing with Papa.
Because I know you're not looking at me thinking that I'm 50. So why are you in my DM, sir?
It's crazy. It's crazy some of the things that I'd be like, oh, they got high self-esteem.
So the type of men that you're attracted to, do you find that those type of men are attracted to you?
Some.
But is it a very small number? Okay. Because I find it very odd that the type of man that I'm attracted to is never attracted to me. And I don't understand it. And I don't know if I'm giving out something that I don't want to be giving off. I don't know.
I used to ask myself that. I'd be like, dang,
what type
I got up today. I thought I was pretty fly. Man, look. What's wrong with me?
Yeah.
But I came to realize that I believe that's God's protection. I believe that's his protection.
I would agree with that.
And especially during the times when I was really longing for it, I know that was God protecting me because I would latch on to whoever gave me attention. And that's for another show. But I would like latch on to somebody, because I wanted that attention. And I still do. I still like, attention and affection or whatever, but I used to like long for it.
So what's your love language?
Touch and words of affirmation.
Okay.
Physical touch and words of affirmation.
I think, no, I was going
to say. But here's the thing, I rarely get it.
Really?
I rarely
So you're not attracting that?
I rarely get it.
See, I want to talk to somebody about those, about like how does attraction, like how does that thing work? Because mine are acts of service and time.
Okay. Yeah, that would be my third one.
Yeah, I don't,
Quality
because
time.
I've met a lot of men who tend to want to give me gifts. I guess because they think that all women want gifts, but that gifts don't mean anything to me. Like really, like I can appreciate it.
Me too.
I can appreciate it, but gifts are not. Yeah, that you can
I
never.
would much rather have a big hug, especially like days when I've had a hard day. I really like long for that. I mean, and that's what I thought marriage would give me. I thought marriage would give me that thing, that tangible thing. And bless his soul, he would try sometimes, but it just wasn't consistent. And that's another word that goes in relationships is consistency. Can you consistently give this to me? Not just because you think I'm mad or because you're manipulating me to do something for you, but can you consistently give this to me because this is what, and I'm very intentional in saying what I need, because a lot of men say, well, women don't say what they need or what they want. So I'm very intentional in saying, today I'm feeling lonesome and I'm feeling like I need this. And then I pay attention. Does that person listen?
Right.
Did they hear me?
Right.
Did you hear what I said? I said that today is a bad day for me and I really want your attention today.
Yeah, that's why I say conversation, understanding, all of that stuff is very important in a relationship. And I know there are a lot of women and men who really don't know how to express themselves and what they need. Right. And I've always come from a place, I would tell you what I want.
Exactly.
You would never, ever have to guess what I want because I'm going to tell you. And it's to the point now, like I have a friend who came over the other day and she wanted me to do this survey type thing to try to figure out why I'm single. And so she wanted me to ask people that I was in past relationships with, why didn't it work out? I said, sweetheart, I'm not in communication with anybody that I had a past relationship with. And she was like, what? She's like, you don't have any, she's like, you're not friends with any of your exes? No. Because if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. There's no, what am I holding on to something for? And especially for me, because I can't get past, I haven't dated anybody and it lasted longer than 6 months.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So there's nothing to hold on to. It's not a friendship.
Well, you know what I've gotten from past relationships is usually I tried and this is another thing that I was telling you about. I was listening the other day about that cognitive distortion. It seems like I keep repeating the same thing, but I'll be in a relationship and I'll really be trying hard to love and to show love and this, and then I'll get tired. Like it's like literally I'll wake up one morning and I'll be like, okay, had enough of that,
Really?
Yes, I will give it my all. I will give it my all. And then usually weeks, months go by, the person calls, I messed up. I didn't do this. But now you've gotten me to the point to where I don't even care no more. I don't care no more. When I stop asking and stop saying it, I don't care no more.
Exactly. So you missed your window, bro.
Yeah. And I will give it my all, but that's what I normally get because I've gone, but well, I guess I probably should have did because you really are a good woman. I thought you was just too good to be true, or this, blah, blah, blah. But okay, whatever.
Wow. So he didn't think he was good enough for you.
I've had that before.
That's crazy. I don't even get to that point. I have been ghosted so much. I was getting ghosted before I even know what ghosted was.
Really?
Yes. I was reaching out to all my friends and my coworkers, and I would be like, I went on a few dates. We had great conversations. The dates were good. We kiki kaka had a great time, and then nothing. I mean, this would happen to me literally all the time. And they would be like, well, Kim, what did you do? What did you say? They were like, did you get into an argument? Did y'all have a disagreement? And I would be like, no. But this is before the term ghosting came. But I was getting ghosted, so I was like, "What are y'all
Okay, that's the
doing?"
Holy Ghost protecting you.
Right, that part.
That's the Holy
And
Ghost
so
protecting
then I
you.
started to hear about, the term ghost, and I was like, oh, okay, that's what was happening. And so then there was another time where I kept, wondering, well, what am I doing wrong? What am I saying? And am I doing something wrong? Am I like, what is it? And I would always want to know, what did I do? And then I had a conversation with my cousin, and she was like, okay, boo, boo, but if they didn't call you back, why isn't there not enough?
Because you do want to know why.
I did want to know why until I had a conversation with her, and I was like, "What? I'm like, you're right. I mean, because if they didn't want me, they just didn't want me.
Yeah. But
And they don't. Oh, here's the thing: they don't owe me a reason. Just because I want to know why doesn't mean they owe it.
They don't owe it to you,
because
right?
they haven't. If they didn't, if I didn't invest, if they didn't invest time in me, and they didn't feel like I was worthy of an explanation,
right?
Then why do I want one?
That's a great outlook. That's a great outlook. That really is. That really
and
is.
I was bothered. I was very bothered all the time until I had that conversation with my cousin. She called me one morning. She my cousin, and we really don't talk a whole lot. But she called me. One morning. She said it really bothered me to hear you say that on your show. She was watching. She said it really bothered me, and I just want to know, why do you care? If they don't care, why do you care? And I was like,
that's true, but that's true.
You're right.
That is true. That is true. And they don't owe us an explanation. They really don't. And we don't owe an explanation.
We don't.
We don't owe an explanation. But you would think in an adult realm, you could just simply say.
You could simply say. I would prefer for somebody to say, I didn't like this about you, or I didn't like what you said. I would rather you tell me than ghost me. Because that way I know if there's something that I'm specifically doing, then there's something that I need to stop. And if no one ever tells me, then I don't know.
I've asked exes that. I'd be like, like why did we not work out? And it's usually the same thing. You were actually too good. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? How is one too good?
Because they weren't ready.
And then then I asked myself, but do I want to make every person, do I want to take that out on every person, or do I want to give every person a clean slate? You know what I'm saying? Do you take that and say, okay, I'm finna stop. I ain't finna do this. I ain't finna do that. I ain't cooking no dinners. I ain't doing none of that.
Carla said she had that too. What did you have too, Carla? Explain what you had too. Okay, well, I've enjoyed this. Do you have anything? Do you have any questions over there? Do you want something you want to talk about?
No, I mean, I'm just enjoying the dialogue. Like I said, we talked about the marriage, but I guess the main thing, what I hope people got out of this conversation, is it an hour already?
Almost.
Lord, see, fun. Just time go fast.
Right,
we having fun.
Right.
But the reason why I really wanted to do this, and hopefully while we were sitting here talking, I was thinking of something else, and I'll tell you after I make this statement. I want everybody to know and hear me well. Because we get older does not mean we have to have a physical man. And I'm not so holy to say, oh, God gonna be my everything. No. But what we can do is wait on God to put the right person in our lives,
right,
and then work on ourselves so that we are prepared to receive the person that God is preparing for us. So that's what my frame of mind is. Let me work on me so that I'm ready, because if I'm expecting this from that person, I gotta be who I present to be. So let me work on all of those aspects of my life, because I wanted to skate past, like, I can't expect a whole relationship when I'm broken.
Right.
I'm broken. Like, right. I have to I really just in the last 4 years started openly talking about being molested. I just openly talked about how it made me feel not having a father. Like, these are things that just stay bottled up inside of me. But then I was just like that woman with the issue of blood. I was just going here, going there, trying to get an answer. And now that I understand where the bleeding is coming from, or where it was coming from, I'm learning how to absorb it through the word of God.
Okay, so it's interesting, and I was finna wrap it up, but you brought out a good point. So it's interesting that you said that, because for me, let me tell you what Miss Carla Blue said. She said, Miss Carla Blue said, honey, if you feel I'm too much, feel please feel free to find less. I know that's
right. You can go on settle.
Go ahead and find less.
Go on to pay less.
Go ahead, honey, because I will not settle. But the thing, so for me, and this ties back to my father, because I did not grow up with my father. Him and my mom got a divorce when I was 6. So my dad started out as this really clean, had everything together type of man, right? This was how he got my mom. As soon as they got married, everything changed. And even after, because he was in church, and even after a few years, he decided he wasn't going to church. So my dad literally changed into a completely different person. He started,
or maybe he was already that person,
or maybe he was, and he was just putting on a good front. Because I can show you pictures where this man, he was so pretty and pristine, and then he turned into something that's like, so like my mom, like he was unrecognizable. He started not to take care of his appearance. He started not to take care of his.
Or could he have been dealing with depression?
He could have been.
That's all signs of depression.
We don't know.
And then in them days, it wasn't readily talked about. Mental health.
Yeah, and he really got to a point, like he actually, they on his death thing, it was, the cause of death was like dementia.
So it could have been early onset.
So it started right, and of course we didn't recognize it, we didn't know what it was. But I said that to say, I believe that's one of the reasons why I'm so set on a man looking a certain way, or having a certain cleanliness, or a certain tailored look about himself, because my father slacked in that area, and that's all I saw growing up of him. I never saw him clean and dressed well. I always saw him looking, kind of worn down and not clean and not taking care of himself. So when I see that, or if I see those signs in a man, it's off-putting to me, because I feel like I know where that can go. Well, does that make sense?
It does make sense. But then if you look at it from the sense of, what if there's something, what if a person does it enough just to reel you in? Could you repeat the same pattern? Could you get a man and he looked the part, and he gets you in, get married, and then it be the same thing? So maybe that may be a time where you gotta kind of take that off and look a little bit deeper inside. Not get away from it,
right?
But be cognizant, because I've learned this. We have to know why we get triggered in certain areas.
Yeah.
Because like right now, I know, like the person I'm dating, we've discussed, I need this, I need affections, I need attention. But I know where that's tied to. I know that that's tied to the lack thereof me having it when I was a kid.
Right.
I can remember my mother had me as the result of an adulterous affair, right? So I was a secret. And everybody, all my cousins, everybody had a daddy, but I didn't. But I don't think they ever thought, she realizes this. She realizes this. And I remember when my sister, I have two older brothers and 2 older sisters, and their dad would come to town. And I remember thinking I was Cinderella. Like I would be like, they dad is here and nobody sees me.
Oh.
So that's what created this larger than life persona that I had. I want to be, I want people to like me. I want this and I want this, and I want to be accepted.
Yeah.
And I carried that up until a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Just doing whatever it took to get somebody to really pay attention to me.
Yeah.
And I deal with that right now today. But now when it rises, that's when I take a step back and I just be like, okay, Lord, what are you speaking to me? What are you saying to me right now? I'm following this cognitive distortion. I'm in this repeat pattern. I'm doing it again. Here I go. I'm doing it again.
So that's why I said I do think that is trigger. I think that is a trigger for me when I see someone who's not well put together. It's a trigger for me. I don't think I realized it until maybe this week, because I'm like, it really bothers me to the point that it like kind of stresses me out. Like I go over and over and over and over in my head, and I'm like, why am I spending so much time on this? And then I realize it's probably tied to my dad and also my brother, because my brother is the same way.
And they may have. I would almost bet that there was some type of mental illness. But in the 70s and the early 80s, nobody talked about
Right.
that. The crazy uncle stayed in the back room, and
Right.
that was just crazy Uncle Jim or whatever.
Exactly.
Nobody, because my oldest brother was schizophrenic, and I remember when he started having, nobody knew what that was.
Yeah.
Nobody knew what that was. But he had been dealing with it. Now that we look back,
Yeah.
he was weird since he was,
Yeah.
he was like that.
Well, see, that's what happened to my dad. He just slowly declined. Like, it just got to the point, like, he just did not care. Like, to the point, like, he didn't even bathe in the shower.
That's
like nothing. And he was a hoarder.
Major
like
depression.
A hoarder.
And hoarding is directly related to depression. If you watch the shows and you really start reading about it, depression, it normally goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
So in that, knowing that even with your dad being gone, apply grace to it. Yeah. Even to the men, not saying that you gotta date them,
no, I know what you're
but
saying. Grace.
Because it could be something with that. Mm-hmm. Could be something to that.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put it in my book.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna talk about it. Y'all, I'm writing a book.
But I do think we have to start looking at, and I don't know if everybody subscribes to that, but if you start tracing yourself backwards, you will find out what you're doing in your current life.
Right.
And I hate that it took me to get to this age to really understand it and to really say, okay, this isn't exactly what I want. And I finally got to the place to where, because it used to be everybody I meet, like, oh, is this gonna be my husband?
Right.
Well, I don't do that anymore. I don't do that anymore. Do I want to be remarried? Yes. I loved marriage. I love being a wife. Like, I really, really did. I do. But I want the right person that's gonna love me the way that, don't love me the way you want to love me.
Right,
love me the way
I'm to be loved.
And because I know I communicated, it's up to you to listen.
Exactly.
It'd be different if I wasn't telling you and I didn't repeatedly say it, but at this point, it's a choice.
Right.
It's a choice. It's a choice. Just like it's a choice when I know you need something or you say you want something, I show up for you. Show up for me.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love it. We're going to end it on that note. Okay, Carla said, she said your dad had mental, spiritual, and emotional trauma. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I totally agree.
It was something more to that.
Yeah, it was something deeper than that. She said she was okay.
We should do.
What?
I have an idea.
What?
You should, and I'll just come on and be a guest or come just to support. You should do a conversation party.
What's a conversation party?
Just invite women. You can even sell tickets. Invite a venue and talk about these issues and open up a space for women to talk.
I'm for it. Let's do
the KFLO show.
The KFLO show.
I think that, because these conversations aren't had enough.
Right.
And I say that because it took me a minute to get comfortable enough to want to talk about it loudly.
Yeah, because I invited her
and
a year ago.
But now I want to talk and I want to share my experiences. And I want to hear what other women have to say.
Me too. I really do.
I do. Because I think that we can all learn from each other.
Shantila says they say a brilliant idea. She's brilliant.
I love it.
Okay, Carla, you can connect with me. You can connect with me through Facebook, Kim Keaton or the KFLO show. You can DM me. However, I'm here. Oh, you have Instagram handle?
Yeah, Facebook. My Instagram handle is a brand new me.
Okay.
That's when I started really getting to know myself, and then I'm Alicia Michelle on Facebook. And I'm gonna start talking more. This was like the precipice for me to talk more about my experiences. And I've been through a lot through my life. And
girl, because I'm gonna tell you, we was riding in the car one time. I ain't gonna say what we talked about, but the story that you told me in the car about how you was growing up and how you used to do these things, I was like, what?
Oh yeah, I was a straight mess. Straight mess. But
to look at you now, I just had a hard time. I knew you were telling me the truth, but I had a hard time.
But God will keep you.
Right.
I knew his hand. Well, now when in hindsight, because some of the places I've been, some of the people I've been around, I know there wasn't nothing but God having his hand on me. That's my grandmama praying for me. It's mama praying for me.
Right.
I'm still living on her prayers.
Girl, people wouldn't believe my story if I told them. I could tell you some stuff and people would be like, girl, now. I'd be like, girl, yeah.
But I think his grace is sufficient for me.
His grace is sufficient. And honey, he preserves you like a preserved jar with the lid on top, honey. That's why we look like we look.
Yeah.
Okay, well, listen, this has been amazing, friend. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. I enjoyed it. So we you get the conversation part. I'll show up or you whatever. But I
Yeah,
think it would be
I
amazing.
am absolutely going to do that, baby. You ain't saying nothing but a word.
That-
Oh, let me ask you these. Y'all, hold on real quick. Let me ask you these questions. Okay, these are called the KFLO's Flamers. These are real hot questions.
Okay.
Oh, we way over time. We're gonna do it
Okay.
anyway.
It's all right.
Okay, so seafood or soul food?
Soul food.
Salty or sweet?
Sweet.
Out with the girls or home with Bay? If you had
Home
a
with
baby.
Bay.
Okay. Sneakers or heels?
I don't know. I'm somewhere in between.
You somewhere in between now.
Somewhere in between.
She on them Jordans now.
My son.
Okay. Boys to Men or New Edition?
New Edition.
I already knew that.
My
Usher
era.
or Neo?
Usher.
Okay. I'm going for Neo. SWV or Escape? You better not say the
SWV.
wrong one. That's what I'm talking about.
I wasn't into Escape.
Morris Chestnut or Boris Kojo?
Oh, I like that chocolate.
You like the chocolate?
Mhm.
Okay. Read a book or watch a movie?
Read a book.
William Murphy or Dietrich Haddon?
Girl, my William, he takes me all the way in. William Murphy takes me in. He took me through some hard times.
I didn't, somebody else told me to get him, but you know what? I was so against Dietrich Haddon for so long.
I love him too, though.
But because I thought he was like a Michael Jackson. I was like, he's trying to imitate Michael Jackson too hard. But hold on. I said at first. But then I heard the brother talk.
I often say that joke can preach.
And I went and bought every CD he had because I was like,
and if you listen to the words in his songs,
he's incredible.
And have you heard his story though? His dad used to beat his mom, and they were in the church.
Really?
Yes.
I know he has a story. I heard some of his testimony.
Yeah.
And then
his dad was a physical abuser.
And then plus he just real swaggy. So I just
But he can have you, and then I don't know if you follow him.
I do.
But do you do the morning prayers with him?
I have done before.
I used to get up with him at 6.
Okay, y'all, look, that's it. It's been a great show. Thank you, Carla. Thank you, Shantila. Who else is over here? Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Dr. Hunter Andrews. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. It was a great show.
And share it, reshare it over and over and over. Tell them how good it was.
Yeah.
KFLO show, it's gonna go viral. I'm speaking that thing into it.
I'm gonna blow up like more and say one of these days I'm about to blow up. Okay, so I am KFLO. You can follow me at IamKFLO.K on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. And you are now in the know with the KFLO show. Thank you all for tuning in. Y'all go be great. And I will see y'all next week on The Uplift. All right. Peace out, y'all.
That was a good one.
Very good. Very good.